President Bola Tinubu appeals for global peace and stability in Africa and other troubled spots around the world. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori lines up numerous projects for inauguration to mark 1 year in office. Nigerian Meteorological Agency issues weather alert. And abroad, New York and cities on the US East Coast assess impact of a rare earthquake that swayed landmarks and cracked roads. Good evening and welcome to the Delta Television News at 8. I am Ogaga Ekama. President Bola Tinubu has appealed for global peace and stability in Africa and other troubled spots around the world. President Tinubu made the appeal while addressing members of the diplomatic corps and heads of international organizations during Ramadan Iftar in Abuja. The president urged the ambassadors to convey the message of peace and stability to their respective countries. Reflecting on the essence of Ramadan, President Tinubu emphasized the values of tolerance and perseverance, noting their importance in fostering peace and stability worldwide. President Tinubu appealed to members of the diplomatic corps to extend their care and support to the needy and the vulnerable, noting the collective responsibility to promote peace and stability globally. The National Identity Management Commission, NIMSI, has said it will unveil an enhanced national identity card layered with payment capabilities and social service features. The new card, developed in collaboration with the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) and the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System (NIT), will be powered by Afrigo, a national domestic card scheme. The Commission, in a statement by its head of corporate communications, Mr. Kayode Adegoke, said the national ID card, fortified with verifiable national identity features, was supported by the NIMSI Act No. 23 of 2007, which mandated the enrollment and issuance of a general multipurpose card to Nigerians and legal residents. He said the initiative aims to meet the demand for physical identification, enabling cardholders to verify their identity and access both government and private social services. According to NIMSI, only registered citizens and legal residents with the national identification number will be eligible to request the card. Other features of the card include a machine-readable zone in confirmation with ICAO for e-passport information, identity card issue date and document number in line with ICAO standards, travel, health insurance, information, microloans, agriculture, food stamps, transport and energy subsidies, among others. The national ID card is expected to promote financial inclusion, empower citizens, and foster increased participation in nation-building endeavors. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has lined up numerous projects for inauguration to mark his first anniversary in office. Commissioner for Works, Rural and Riverine Roads, Mr. Charles Aniagu, who disclosed this to newsmen shortly after inspecting some completed and ongoing projects in Okwe and Ughelli North local government areas of the state, said that Governor Oborevwori was desirous to deliver quality projects to Deltans in line with his MORE agenda. The Works Commissioner, accompanied by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Sir Festus Ahon, and the functioning permanent secretary in his ministry, Mr. Solomon Agaga, cited 4 roads, including the Adagrasa Road starting from the Warri-Sapele Express and terminating at the Ekun Road. Mr. Niagu also inspected the 3.47 kilometers Okaja Junction to Agba Road. The commissioner pointed out that the state government was taking cognizance of compensation, which he said was being handled by estate valuers, adding that this was why a number of structures on the right-of-way had been removed. He said the state government would continue to do its best to meet up with the financial requirements of the jobs that had been awarded to contractors. Mr. Niagu appealed to residents of the state who had formed the habit of dumping refuse into the drains to desist from such acts to avoid the unpleasant consequences of blocking water channels. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NEC) has pledged to monitor electricity distribution companies' disclose compliance with its directive for the implementation of the April 2024 Supplementary Multi-Year Tariff Order. In a statement signed today by the NEC's Deputy General Manager of Market Competition and Rates, Mr. Abba Terab, said the Commission would monitor compliance with the requirements listed and would continue to provide support to all stakeholders as required. The NEC directed all electricity distribution companies DISCOs to provide as much clarity as possible to all affected customers. It also directed all DISCOs to post on their websites the schedule of approved Band A feeders that had been affected by the rate review, while charging them to set up a portal by Wednesday next week on their website that allowed all customers to check their current bands by entering their meter or account numbers. The Commission insisted that all customers wrongly billed at the new rate be refunded through energy tokens no later than Thursday next week and file evidence of compliance with the Commission by Friday. The Inspector General of Police, Olukayode Egbetokun, has approved the posting of dedicated police public relations officers and deputy public relations officers at the Force Headquarters, Abuja. The appointments, the Force Headquarters said, were meant to strengthen community engagement and strategic communication. This was disclosed by the Force Public Relations Officer Olomuyiwa Adejobi in a statement today. The newly posted officers and their respective portfolios include CSP Usuku Odailokun as Deputy Force Public Relations Officer, Force Headquarters Abuja, DSP Ukandu Joshua to PPRO Ebonyi, ASP Buhari Abdullahi to PPRO Gombe, ASP John Timpo to PPRO Akwa Ibom, and ASP Hudeyin Sewanu to PPRO Port Authority Police Western Lagos. The Inspector General of Police reiterated his commitment to standardizing and repositioning the force in line with his vision statement while wishing the newly posted officers success in their new roles. Mr. Adejobi stated that the newly posted officers have been tasked to be professional in their dealings and foster unalloyed relationships with members of the public. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission's EFCC will on Monday next week arraign the embattled former Central Bank of Nigeria Governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, at the Ikeja State High Court in Lagos for alleged abuse of office over allocation of billions of United States dollars. Mr. Emefiele, alongside his co-defendant, one Henry Isioma Omole, will be arraigned on 26 counts before Justice Yaman Oshodi. The charge marked ID/23787C/2024, dated April 3, 2024, was filed by Mr. Rotimi Oyedepo, SAN. EFCC alleged that Mr. Emefiele committed abuse of office between 2022 and 2023. The Commission alleged that Emefiele, as the Governor, Central Bank of Nigeria, an arbitrarily act, allocated foreign exchange in the aggregate sum of $2.13 billion without bids, which act is prejudicial to the rights of Nigerians. EFCC further alleged that Emefiele between 2020 and 2021 allocated foreign exchange in the aggregate sum of $291.9 million without bids, which act is prejudicial to the rights of Nigerians. Mr. Emefiele was alleged to have in 2021 specially allocated foreign exchange in aggregate sum of $1.7 billion, which act is prejudicial to the rights of Nigerians. In count 4, the sum involved was $370.8 million. Mr. Emefiele's co-defendant Omoyele was alleged to have, on November 17, 2020, whilst acting as an agent accepted from Raja Punjab through Mr. Monday Osazua, the total sum of $110,000 for Mr. Godwin Emefiele gifts as reward for allocating foreign exchange by the Central Bank of Nigeria in favor of Raja Punjab's employer. According to the charge, the offences committed contravene Section 73 of the Criminal Law of Lagos State 2011. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu thanked the Central Bank investigator, Mr. Jim Obazi, for his services, officially closing the months-long investigation. A statement by the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Mr. Adri Ngelale, said subsequent to the conclusion of the assignment and the submission of a final comprehensive report, and with the winding up of all apparatuses used during the scope of the task, which terminated on March 31, 2024, the investigation had formally closed. President Tinubu noted that with the investigations closed, all appropriate law enforcement and regulatory agencies have since begun conducting follow-up action. The President commended Mr. Obazi for their dedication and professionalism he exercised in handling the complexities of this critical national assignment. He thanked the CBN investigator for answering the call of duty while wishing him success in his future endeavors. On 30 July 2023, the President appointed Jim Oba as the Chief Executive Officer of the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria as a special investigator to probe the Central Bank of Nigeria and related entities. Still to come, Nigerian Meteorological Agency issues weather forecast, weather alert. Details of this and more coming up shortly. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us on the Delta Television News at 8. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has issued a weather alert warning of the likelihood of heat stress and thunderstorms across various parts of the country today. The agency made the predictions in its weather report released in Abuja today. According to NIMET, the heat index over Nigeria is expected to soar with strong prospects of heat stress in many regions, urging the public to take necessary precautions. The agency emphasized the importance of staying well hydrated and avoiding strenuous physical activities, especially during the peak hours between 12 and 4 p.m. The agency recommended wearing shades and hats when outdoors and asked parents to ensure infants were adequately saturated to mitigate the effects of the scorching heat. It predicted prospects of thunderstorms in the southern and north-central region, including parts of Taraba, Kaduna, Zamfara, and Kebbi states. NIMET advised the public about strong winds preceding the rains in areas where thunderstorms are likely to occur, urging them to take adequate precautions. It also urged airline operators to obtain updated weather reports and forecasts to ensure effective planning in their operations, emphasizing the importance of prioritizing passenger safety. The global scene is next as we join our world news desk.
New York and cities on the U.S. East Coast are the impact of a rare earthquake that swayed landmarks and cracked roads. The magnitude 4.8 quake struck at 10:23 a.m. near Lebanon, New Jersey, and could be felt from Pennsylvania to Connecticut. Residents spoke of being rocked by a violent rumbling that threw objects around their homes and damaged walls. At least 6 aftershocks were reported by residents, and the United States Geological Survey, including one with 4.0 magnitude, felt around 1800 local time. In New York, the Statue of Liberty was seen swaying during the initial earthquake, while workers and residents across the city's 5 boroughs reported violent rumbling. A New York resident told Newsmax how their lazy morning suddenly turned. He said he was lying on his bed when the whole apartment building started shaking and they started freaking out. At the UN Security Council headquarters, a meeting on Gaza was temporarily paused due to the tremor. Yet for all the drama, New York State Governor Kathy Hochul said there had been no report of major damage or injuries. And in the United Kingdom, a family who admitted trading in Class A drugs worth millions of pounds have been jailed. The National Crime Agency (NCA) said a young Sharks lady, age 67, his partner Gillian Melville, age 66, and her son Highland Castle, age 45, ran the operation from their homes in Skelmersdale, Lancashire. It said seized ledgers showed they supplied at least 360 kilograms of cocaine and 25 kilograms of heroin. There were also entries showing the movement of more than 1.4 million euro in cash. An NCA representative said the agency had worked with Merseyside police to uncover the family's operations. They said Sharks Lady and Kausa had ferried large quantities of cocaine, heroin, and cannabis around the country using a van fitted with a hidden compartment which was controlled by hydraulics and activated by a switch in a cup holder. The vehicle was seized during a raid at an address in Marshbank Road, Skelmersdale, on 15 September 2021 after it was recorded making more than 40 trips across the UK. Officers also found Sheik's Lady and Melville counting cash in a bedroom alongside bags containing more than €254,000 and a number of elastic bands. A search of the rest of the property revealed almost €147,000 more in cash, cannabis with a street value of €16,000 and two ledgers which documented the extent of their activities. During a hearing at Liverpool Crown Court on Wednesday, Shaklady admitted conspiracy to supply cocaine and heroin, possession of cannabis with intent to supply and possession of criminal property, and was jailed for 10 years and 6 months. Sierra Leone has declared emergency over drug kush made from human bones. The emergency declaration results from a report that 63% of patients in Sierra Leone's psychiatric hospital have been admitted for kush-related issues. Sierra Leone's president has declared a national emergency over the rampant drug abuse. Kush, a psychoactive blend of addictive substances, has been prevalent in the country for years. President Julius Maada Bio called the drug a death trap and said it posed an existential crisis. One of the drug's many ingredients is human bones, causing security to tighten up cemeteries so as to stop habits digging up skeletons from graves. Group of mostly men sitting on street corners with lips swollen by kush abuse is a common sight in Sierra Leone. There is no official death toll, but one doctor told the BBC that in recent months, hundreds of young men had died from organ failure caused by kush in the capital, Freetown. The Sierra Leone Psychiatric Hospital, the country's only institution of its kind, said the psychoactive substance also takes a toll on mental health and that between 2020 and 2023, admissions linked to kush surged by almost 4,000% to reach 1,865.
And now, in business, 12 states in the country are forging ahead with plans for independent power projects empowered by the Electricity Act 2023, a hopeful sign for Nigeria's long-standing battle with insufficient electricity. The act, signed into law last June, decentralized control of electricity generation, granting states the authority to generate, transmit, and distribute power within their jurisdictions. The newfound autonomy has sparked a flurry of activity, with Lagos, Kano, and 10 other states having reportedly finalized plans for power projects eager to address their own energy needs. Some states have even established their electricity market laws, seeking approval to set up independent regulatory bodies separate from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NEC). This means that until a state has passed its electricity market laws, the NEC will continue to regulate electricity businesses in such states. Christians have been admonished not to live their lives as if they are the owner of themselves. Reverend Father Augustine Okoromi of the St. Martin's Catholic Church, Osisa, Ndokwa West Local Government Area, gave the admonition during the funeral service for retired Major Babs Usman Agali at the St. Andrew Catholic Church, Ogume. Perebotu has details. We'll bring the report in our subsequent bulletin. In sports, Nigerians Super Falcons will tomorrow travel out of the country to South Africa for the reverse fixture of their 2024 Paris Olympic Women's Football Tournament against arch rivals Bayana Bayana. The Randy Wardrum-led team will fly out of Lagos after a slim 1-0 advantage from the first leg, leaving out much to play for in the second leg on Tuesday in Pretoria. Captain Rashidat Ajibade's well-taken 42nd minute penalty separated 9-time African champions Nigeria and reigning champions South Africa at the MKO Abiola National Stadium Abuja last night. Chiwendu Ihezuo was upended in the box just minutes earlier as the Super Falcons broke forward once more, and the Spain-based Ajibade made no mistake in heading the ball past Kaylin Swartz. Returning forward, Ihezuo was already playing in the neck for the Bayana as her pace unsettled their rearguard several times, but Nigeria failed to make hay from dead ball situations before and after Ajibade's strike. In the second half, the Bayana took over the midfield with Linda Mutalo, Rifilo Jane, and Mvula Kwale showing pace and invention, but Osinachi Ohale and Christy Uchebe in the Nigerian central defense closed them down now and again. Goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie was called upon to make a world-class save midway into the second half when Jermaine Suspenswe fired a belter from 20 yards after a good pass from the precarious Thembi Gatlana. Substitutes Esther Nkoronkwo and Risola Babajide added some spark to the Super Falcons' four line, but they could not get past their standing penny swords. Now, attentions have shifted to Tuesday's reverse fixture at the Loftus Versade Stadium in Pretoria. Both Nigeria and South Africa are desperate to return to the Olympics football tournament, but only the winner of the two-legged encounters aggregate will qualify to represent Africa at the Paris 2024 Games. The Nigeria Women Football League (NWFL) has announced the postponement of match weeks 13 and 14 on the NWFL Premiership of April 17 and April 24. This decision comes in light of the upcoming Eid al-Fitr celebration marking the end of Ramadan. A statement by the Chief Operating Officer Modupe Shadi explained that the rescheduling was necessary as match week 13, originally slated for April 10th, coincides with the Eid al-Fitr celebration. The NWFL values the observance of religious holidays and seeks to ensure that both players, officials, and fans can fully participate in the event. Over now to the thought for the day. Failure is not falling short of your goal, but it is simply not making an effort. To end the news, here again are the main points. President Bola Tinubu has appealed for global peace and stability in Africa and other troubled spots around the world. President Tinubu made the appeal while addressing members of the diplomatic corps and heads of international organizations during Ramadan Iftar in Abuja. Governor Sheriff Oberewori has lined up numerous projects for inauguration to mark his one-year anniversary in office. Commissioner for Works, Rural and Riverine Roads, Mr. Charles Aniagugu, disclosed this to newsmen shortly after inspecting some completed and ongoing projects in Ope and Ughelli North local government areas of the state, said that Governor Oberewori was desirous to deliver quality projects to Deltans in line with his more agenda. We also told you that the Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET has issued a weather alert warning of the likelihood of heat stress and thunderstorms across various parts of the country today. The agency made the predictions in its weather report released in Abuja today. And abroad, New York and cities on the U.S. East Coast are assessing the impact of a rare earthquake that swayed landmarks and cracked roads. The magnitude 4.8 quake struck at 10:23 a.m. near Lebanon, New Jersey, and could be felt from Pennsylvania to Connecticut. That's the news. Thank you so much for watching. I am Ogaga Ikama. Good evening.